Hello everybody, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspo Crypto. Today it's going to be a very interesting analysis session because the market is showing some very interesting data. Not only the outflows, you can see they crashed my net flow because we can see here the almost 30,000 Bitcoin outflows, and many are yelling right now, oh God, we are going up again. Be careful. I have spent some time now just to investigate what's happening with this Bitcoins, and we will talk about that later on. Well, first of all, wealth ratio maintains a relatively high level. It's not the same like we noticed end of March or in the beginning of April, April 1st, where I said, oops, the wealth ratio dumped very hard to almost zero, and afterwards we lifted up. And you can see the wealth ratio was declining at the moment. So interesting was, yes, we lifted up, but afterwards, few days later, we started to decline, and something similar happened again. It wasn't the wealth ratio wasn't signaling such kind of pump, but however, it happened again. So we can see here the wealth ratio 30 hours average lifted up, and it has started to decline, and it seems it's lifting up again, and that's something while the price reacted immediately, starting here to decline as well. So if that's now showing that whales are sending more Bitcoin to the exchanges, that could mean that we are not done with our dump yet, but something we have to check even more. The stablecoin reserves on exchanges also lifted up. It declined a little bit, it lifted up even more, and since then, since April 12th, it's declining. It lifted up a little bit, but it's declining again, and we are reaching our local bottom from April 9th. So something that's indicating they are taking stablecoins out of the exchanges, also indicating that they are taking profit or selling their assets. Same or similar thing, stablecoin supply declining, was stabilizing a little bit, it's declining again. Also not very nice, at least not bullish. As if you are following me on Twitter, you know I have tweeted about the redeemed USDC. Since weeks we are, or not really since weeks, maybe 2 weeks now, we are detecting big, huge redeemed USDC amounts on Coinbase, almost 10 billion US dollars. Not burned yet, and the big question is what's going to happen with all this 10 billion. The USDC supply just reduced by 3 billion yet, so we need to check. However, well, I would like to skip this one because that's going to be a separate topic, I guess. But let us talk about that later on. So, what happened to spot exchanges? Do we see anything useful for us? Well, first of all, yes, we can. That's our stablecoin net flow indicating that's not really nice, but it makes sense. I mean, the price is declining, of course. Stablecoin outflows indicating they sold their assets and they are taking out some stablecoins. Makes sense. I mean, it matched to the price action. However, it's not bullish, right? So we are not detecting any big stablecoin inflows. Absolutely not. I mean, 50 million, almost 54 million outflow and 24 million inflow. But yeah, the biggest one was here with 100 million inflow and 65 million outflow. But since then, you can see the net flow is declining instead. So that's indicating they're selling, it seems, from the spot markets. It's spot markets only. Well, I mean, the Bitcoin inflow, that's, I guess, the biggest one. 650 Bitcoin just happened a few hours ago. Not that big, not compared to what we have seen just weeks ago. 5,000 here, 4,000 here. I don't know what's happening. I thought Terra Luna is going to buy every day for 125 million US dollars. I don't know if they stopped or I'm missing something. However, we can't see any big activity here right now. So, our futures chart. What we can see here is actually since yesterday, the funding rate just lifted up. Interesting, because that was before the pump. Then it declined a little bit. That was, I guess, related to this one. And afterwards it's lifted up again. It declined. It's now lifting up again, indicating more demand for longs than for shorts. I mean, the price action is giving you all signals for that. Open interest is declining since April 12th. It declined, it lifted up a little bit, lifted up again, and it's declining. So, indicating they liquidated a lot and we have less active future contracts placed in the exchanges at the moment. And the leverage ratio maintains, of course, a very high level, is rising again. Because many are expecting a big dump after big pump, sorry, afterwards, because of course we reached our bottom. Be careful with that. What we can see here is at the moment 120 million inflows in stablecoins, 80 million outflows. Yeah, I would say more inflows than outflows. Also interesting here, 3,000 Bitcoin inflows. And when I see such kind of inflows related to derivative exchanges, you know my opinion, it doesn't make sense. I mean, you can do that, of course, and maybe that makes sense related to, I don't know, as tax strategy or whatever. But in my opinion, that's your underlying asset. If you are going to use your bitcoins as collateral, it makes sense if you are bullish and you want to long it. If you are going to short it, it's going to reduce your profit, because at the same time the bitcoins you are using as collateral is declining in value. Just to say that. So that could be, in my opinion, a sign, a bullish sign, not only because we have the bitcoins here, but also the funding rate here lifting up. So, in my opinion, I will take a look on that. Maybe it's time to long a little bit, but we will see. Let us take a look to the liquidation map. Wow. I mean, I did today an analysis for the German community in German, and the liquidation map of FTX was looking absolutely different. I mean, with much more volume, it disappeared. So it seems they closed a lot of shorts, and it seems we liquidated and closed some longs, which matched the open interest. However, what we can see here is between, let me check, between 42.2 and 43, well, almost 44, the biggest short liquidation volume, while we have the same, I would say, at 38.4. Yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, till 30 then. Um, it declined a lot. So I don't know. It doesn't look like Not really useful at the moment, I would say. So, market drivers. Who is driving the market? Pff, nothing new, I would say. I mean, the same who drive the market before. We can check that here, and you can see what is happening there. Aggregated CVD spot indicating declining. The price went up. They both a little bit, and since then declining, 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 declining. Even if TX, I mean, and the only thing that is just driving the market, the price, is still the futures. That's all the mystery. Futures are still here. Sometimes I think the market is becoming to a pure future market. I mean, okay, that's fine if you know that. Different rules we have to adapt, and that's it. But that, in my opinion, that wouldn't the worst case for crypto because that means it's just in a transition to become just casino, and we will have big volatility. We will have up and downs all the time, like we had in the last few weeks. And well, I mean, if that's the future of the market, that's okay. We need to adapt that. If we check, for example, what's happening here, that's the daily time frame, and you can see, of course, we had activity in the markets. I mean, you remember last year in summer, of course, we had that. And the same is happening now. Just in my opinion, bigger. And someone just told me, hey, Inspo, we are close to go to a bull run or to a bull market because um, he noticed on chain that the transaction count was rising. And usually, I would say you are right. But, I mean, we can take a look here. Exchange depositing transactions, it's not really rising at the moment. But if we check here, the exchange depositing addresses is declining even more. And I told to him, be careful because as you can see here, we have a big activity related to bots. And these bots are not making huge transactions. They are making tiny transactions, but a lot of them. That's behind of this trade bot chart because they are just detecting many transactions from the same wallet, for example, and those are little transactions. So of course the transaction count would rise, but if you check the wallets and you see that the wallet count related to deposits is still low. I mean, we are talking about low level, the same low level of 2020. Let me show you that here. If we take a look, you can see, I mean, that's 2021. Let me bring that a little bit more to 2020, and you can see that here we are here. I mean, we reached last year in summer that level a little bit, but that was just one dump, and afterwards we lifted up. It's not happening. Since weeks, it's not happening. And yeah, that's something we should have in mind. That means just that retailers are not back here in the market, and even with more market actors. So at the moment, the whole market is driven by futures, and nobody is even buying short term. And that's wondering when I see then something like 60,000 Bitcoin withdraw. I mean, what's happening there? Are they taking just the Bitcoins and put them to a cold wallet? I don't know. I really don't know. But that's what I can see and tell you based on data. Well, let us talk about exchange walls. Coinbase, we can see more activity, more orders here than in lower ranges than upper ranges, right? But nothing big. Deribit, also nothing big. Waiting there. Yes, of course, we have a lot in lower ranges below 33K, but also here nothing big. Binance Spot. I don't know what these guys are expecting, but it looks like they are preparing something. I don't know. Binance. Okay, we have at 48K a wall, and we have 32.6. But that's it. We have some small walls here at 45, but nothing big. FTX. I mean, we had that, right? And what happened to the price? I don't know. It looks like they want to push up again, and FTX is, in my opinion, the main driver with Binance. BitMEX, also interesting. Also very interesting. This walls indicating they don't want to let the price go down, or they're expecting something. But in my opinion, Binance futures always the most accurate one. I mean, the price react very well. It goes up, here rejected, goes up, here rejected, goes down, tries again, wall rejected, goes up, rejected, goes down, rejected, goes up, rejected, goes down. And you can do that all the day, all the day. Here, rejected, 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 down, rejected. So what's next? Up? Something I can imagine. I really can imagine that we will go up maybe even a little bit more and then maybe go even more down. That's possible, and we should have that picture in mind. Bitfinex derivatives, still big cluster here. You can see that hopefully. Here we have a big cluster, but nothing down, just here. Also very interesting what they are doing here. Okay. Didn't see that. That looks very interesting as well. Okay. I mean, look how the price just moved, and oh, that's interesting. Well, but also nothing here. Here, no. That's FTX. Here, just waiting at 37K with 186 Bitcoin. Big for FTX, but nothing special. Well, that's it.